Neil, hi, welcome. What's the outlook for the fintech market?
Well, Georgie, it's been a humbling last 9 to 12 months. When you think about it, valuations of the fintech market have gone way down. VC funding has dropped, all while revenues increased. So it's been challenging. But if we look forward a few years out. I believe the market is tremendous. The opportunity is tremendous. Fintechs are just a small slice of the overall market, something in the area of $250 million of revenue in a market that's over $2 trillion. And it's an industry that's continues to be ripe for disruption. When we look at net promoter scores in the industry, traditional players are getting something in the 20s. The fintechs out there in the 80s. So a massive opportunity for a real uplift in benefit to the market. And these emerging technologies, we're still in the early days of seeing them play out. You think of generative AI, you think about open banking, digital ledger technology. So still early innings there. So as I see it, although it's been a tough few months, the outlook is extraordinarily positive for the industry.
Well, talking of the outlook, which parts of the market do you think will grow the fastest going forward?
Yeah, it's a great question. If you look backwards, I think really payments have led the industry. Both payments, payments for consumers, as well as other fintechs really geared to the end consumer. If we forecast forward, I think that's going to shift. And some of the analysis we did in our recent FinTech report really projects the growth taking off in the B2B to X segment and the B2B segment. And that's really B2B to X are really those players in the background, serving other fintechs or serving other banks or even industries and even players in other industries. And then B2B being serving, small and medium-sized businesses. The funding has increased into those businesses 30-fold, and the opportunities to really engineer in the background great experiences is just huge and tremendous. Also, those models don't have some of the challenges around funding and maintaining a really healthy balance sheet that some of the fintechs have struggled with more recently.
There will be challenges, doubtless. What do you foresee being the main challenges for key players in the market?
Yeah. So it's, we're gone are the go days of the past. So I think, moving forward, there certainly will be challenges. We can already see more regulation coming. So there's certainly a challenge of regulatory overreach. But that's also an opportunity, I think, for some of the best and the biggest fintechs. They should really be embracing regulation and engineering their products and experiences to be sound from a regulatory perspective, and that's going to give advantage to. There's going to be advantage to those players that are able to do that successfully. Also, growing in a market where we're not in the go funding days of past, is going to be a new muscle. So being smarter about how to design an operating model that allows these companies to grow, but is more cost conscious, that's a new muscle that's going to need to be built. And then being really smart and thoughtful about how to play offense. I think keeping focused on core segments, core business model, and not trying to overreach and be everything to everyone is going to be a challenge, but it's one that we think the best fintechs are going to be able to rise to the challenge on.
Neil, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for having me, Georgie.